What is up, RetroManiacs? Welcome to the Retro Card Chat Podcast. My name is Mike, and I'm from Mike's Retro Trading Cards. And you know, these two guys love our viewers and listeners so much that they told me that they would do this podcast for free. So I took them up on their offer. They are, of course, your friends of mine, Joe Day and EP Eric Pahalik. How you doing, boys?
Doing great.
Check my
Joe, were you getting
contract.
paid before this?
I don't know. Wait, yeah. I'm wondering the same thing. Where's all this money going?
Sounds a lot better if you say it the way I just said it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Make
we
all the
agreed.
viewers and listeners feel like you work for free, not because I don't pay you, but because you love them so much. That's clearly why.
That
Right?
is what it is.
Right?
It is
Sure. Sure.
How's it going, boy?
Well, I feel a lot poorer now. Thanks. I don't know. The contract said I was getting a lot more money than this. I don't know.
Hey, I have tons of money in the account just waiting for the right time to give it to you guys. So
You're saving it for our education? What is happening right now?
kinda, yeah. What are those accounts for college? Yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah. Or a Christmas club or something like that.
Something like that. Vacation club, whatever.
Right.
No, not vacation club, because somebody's going on vacation soon. I don't want him to miss.
I honestly thought you were
what
going
I'm
on
saying.
vacation this week. I totally forgot what your schedule is. But
I
I'm
get
actually
called into
home.
work. You're
Yeah.
home. Yeah.
I'm home. Look at this. It's not a green screen, everyone.
Are
I
you
am
sure?
home.
Are you sure?
I'm
Yeah,
not touching
back a
anything.
little bit. Are you
I'm
sure?
not touching anything because you know how I am. But no, I could. Look,
It looks it doesn't still doesn't look
Wow.
right. It looks there's like it's kind of blurry. I don't know if you're really
Yeah.
home. I can't quite tell.
I think it's AI. Now I'm gonna have
Yep.
to click the little box when I upload this that it was AI edited. Yeah.
Yeah, it's me. This is something, put in like fat beard glasses. This is what you come up with right here with like 12 fingers.
I know I've done it before. Typed it looked just like you. So
Fat beard glasses.
it's amazing. Yeah.
But
With
yes,
beer.
I am back. So before we move on, I don't have a beer. We're recording super early today. I don't know if you have a beer, EP.
Not
I
really
don't.
that early.
I don't.
Okay, wow. So no one has a beer. So someone crack open
I
a
get
beer.
no, I have a
I knew you didn't have a beer. But just some housekeeping things because I was on the road for a while. I wanted to bring a couple things up. I was going to last week, but I was super hungover from that wedding and I totally forgot. But for some reason, I know it's shocking. For some reason, every time I try to respond to a comment with my contact information down below, YouTube would delete it. So I'm just so Kevin, and I'm going to try and get this name right. Hold on. Let me pull down the comments here. Kevin Lowery 6893. He was asking about a Star Trek Picard base set. You can get in touch with me either on what are they? Twitter, joeday17821, or you can email me joeday17821@gmail.com. I will hook you up. I have like 20 of them left. So get in touch. Cost of shipping kind of situation. So definitely get in touch with me. I wanted to make sure I made that announcement. And I posted it on Twitter, but I wanted to give it its full love. Big shout out to our boy, Tyler Simmons. He is a super fan and a super Chiefs fan. I don't know if he had to pick Mike's Retro Trading Cards or the Chiefs. I think he'd still pick us.
I think he's probably going
Right?
Chiefs.
Absolutely, yeah. No,
Probably going. I mean, the Chiefs have
Definitely
won
us.
2 Super Bowls in the last how many years? He can switch. I mean, they've got there.
we're like a Super Bowl every week.
Yes. That's a good way to put it. That is a really good way to put it.
Put that on a t-shirt.
But we are like a Super Bowl every week. That is a good t-shirt.
Put on a t-shirt and buy it down below. Below the t-shirt.
It's like Ryan Aries over here on Screen Crush. But anyway, so he hooked me up. I had brought this card as a 3 cards, and I said I really should get one. It wasn't the player that I mentioned, I don't believe. It's even better. Dan Marino,
Look at that.
Ring Bearers. I mean, look at that card. It's still in the
Man.
original top loader. He sent it to me in because I'm waiting for my order of pro molds. Because this sucker's gone into a pro mold. You might see it behind me. Just look at that. I mean, the shine,
cool. That's
the
crazy.
die
That's crazy. Cool.
cut, and I didn't even notice like this part. This part, like this part, 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 I don't know how well it's showing. You can see through it.
We see
The card's
nothing.
got, it's got
Oh,
no
okay,
card at
sorry.
all. There
Yeah.
you go.
So
There
this part, right?
Mhm.
You can see through these. Like I can see you guys right now through
Wow,
this. I
it
didn't
looks
know
like a mask.
I didn't even know you could. The poor audio listeners. Brent Heintzelman is not getting this kind of content.
No.
But yeah, for sure. This is such a cool card. So thank you, Tyler. I wanted to shout you out on the channel, and I forgot for like 2 weeks. So there we go. I am caught up now.
And I believe Tyler said that anybody else watching who wanted one of those, just leave a
I think
comment
just
for him, and he would get them one too. Or
I
no,
think just
maybe?
shipping.
No?
I think he's just charging shipping for that. Yeah, I might though. Joking aside, I might put this set together this year.
I know
set
that's
together.
a fantastic set.
I think it would look kind of like how you did with your Z Team, Mike. I think it would look cool just across on a case in a case like that. So I think that might be my next set thing to put together. So we shall see.
Love
Very
it.
cool.
Well, so what's new and exciting with you, EP?
Well, first, Mike, I want to say to you, Happy Father's Day. We're recording Sunday morning. Again, pull back the curtain. Anybody watching us Monday, hope the fathers had a great Father's Day. I just wanted to say that my box cutter that I know Mike has complimented that he really likes. I'm down to my last blade. This was given to me by my dad, and I'm on my last blade. I'm gonna get a new blade. So that's that.
Nice.
At the show last week, I talked to you. I said I was proud of myself because I had gotten rid of all my junk wax. I found another box.
I was gonna say that's impossible.
I found 19 more 1990 Upper Deck
Nice
baseball packs and 9 more Don Russ rack packs. So I got some more junk wax I need to move, but I mean, I don't mind having the 90 Don Russ, but I would
Where did you find it? I just imagine EP walking around his house, open up random doors, and just junk wax hitting him in the face.
I was cutting up some boxes, hence the box cutter, getting down to one blade. I was cutting up some boxes. I used like some of the boxes for shipping some stuff, and then I was taking some other boxes for recycling, and I found a box on the bottom that had a bunch of used, like old pages that I take to shows and give away for free, and then also these bunch of packs that are sitting in there. So yeah. Yep.
Well, Joe, I just sold a lot of packs in my pack stack sale, and I still have over to this side of me. I have a bunch of wax laying there. Back here, I have a tub that has a bunch of it in there. But I was talking to EP at the show last week, and I was like, oh, I completely forgot. The table that is holding this camera that I'm looking at right now, underneath there, I have a tub that is easily like probably 2 feet, maybe a little over wide, and is full of other junk wax. And I completely forgot that was down there until I was talking to EP, and I had like an epiphany, and I'm like,
oh my, might be.
Yeah, oh yeah. So it just shows up, Joe. I swear it multiplies. Like
it multiplies.
They reproduce. Yeah.
Here's a Star Trek reference. Trouble with triples.
Exactly. I even know that.
Oh wow! I'm very proud of you, Mike.
Thank you.
It's like a triple situation where this junk wax just mates, and all of a sudden it just.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Wow. Well, speaking of Star Trek cards, I got this one. I don't know what it is, but you can tell me. It looks like a promo card for Star Trek, the original series, coming soon.
I'm guessing from Rittenhouse.
I got Data and the USS Enterprise. Now, I did not buy these.
Oh, okay. That makes
more sense.
I
was given these by channel superfan C-Town Funk.
Is he trying to convert you? What is happening?
He is literally trying to convert me. But he sent me this nice little letter after he watched our video about taking over the card companies for one day. And he said his final act as Upper Deck head would be to start producing Star Trek cards and have you, Joe Day, as the lead of that part of the company.
I mean, that checks out, right?
But that wasn't all. He also harkened back to the day when on one of our videos, we have once you pull back the curtain, when you do a lot of videos, you don't remember what you said when.
No.
But I do remember talking about not having a Ken Griffey Jr. Upper Deck rookie card. Well, didn't he go and his first thing running Upper Deck, he printed me another Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card and he sent it to me. How about that? I mean, in all seriousness, though, this is fantastic. Thank you so much. So appreciated. I don't have this card in my collection, and now I do. I need to get a pro mold for it.
I'm ordering a case, my man.
Hook me up because I need to put it in my case back there because this one's a keeper. And look at that. I can't believe now I have a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card. So thank you so much, C-Town Funk. You can be a handful at times, but we do appreciate you.
No, so pulling back the curtain again, I think that's a drinking game. If anyone wants to,
we do it all the time.
Instead of saying we're saying pulling back the curtain now.
Right. I still say all the time too. Sorry to that guy. That
sorry, whoever doesn't like that we say . But so he messaged me because, like I said before the show, he said it was very serendipitous that he had just bought one. He had just won an auction, I believe, for that Griffey. He watched the video where you said you really need to add a Griffey to your collection. And then he asked for your address. And I did respond right away, not because I didn't want to give him your address. I just didn't know it because my car just knows how to get to your house. Like if I'm Danville, I don't like plugging in an address or anything. So I'm looking for it. And he basically was like, don't worry, I'm not a serial killer. I'm like, well, I didn't think you were until you said that. Now I'm a little worried. Yeah. But no, yeah, it was a very, very kind gesture. I suspect Mike's going to gift those Star Trek cards to me. Comment below, C-Town. I would hope so. Or
he wanted me to have them.
Or I will say we need to start doing Star Trek content. More Star Trek content.
I was going to say start. I feel like somebody's already done a bunch.
Even more Star Trek content. So
I'll give you 1 day a week. You can.
How about 1 day a month? I have an idea for a once a month show.
See that C-Town? It's already working. Mike's already starting to convert. He's already starting to go there. So. You think Upper Deck is still printing those 89 Upper Deck Griffies? You think they're still like, you know what? Let's print a couple more,
right? Why not?
How do you think the census keeps getting so big?
Oh no, we're getting sued again. Hey, print some more Griffies, okay? Why not?
Yeah, right.
And
print money.
I have to also show this. I was at a yard sale on Saturday morning. I like to go out to yard sales. Let's see what I can find. I actually found this, which is a 1966 Batman complete set. I didn't know it was a complete set. I saw that. I'm like, oh, those are the old Batman cards. I'm like, I'll get that. And then I got home. I started going through it and I got to like the mid 30s and I was missing some. I'm like, oh, okay. And then they were just out of order. I shuffled a couple more cards. I'm like, oh, there they all are. And yes, the complete 55 card set at a yard sale. Like,
that's awesome.
Can't beat that.
You don't find stuff like that very often, but really cool. I have that 1966 Marvel set and now I need to get binder pages and a binder to put this in to go.
I was gonna say that's
Marvel
not a seller, right? That's a keeper, right? Like that's awesome.
I don't. It's worth so much, and I paid so little for it. So it's kind of a tough thing. I don't know. It might be one of the keep for a while, and then
or put like a ridiculous eBay price up with like no like accepting offers, saying if someone wants to pay it,
maybe. Although I still have never listed the Marvel set. I've thought about selling that a number of times, but like kind of like having it unique, not something that everybody has. So I like stuff like that. So maybe I'll hold on to it.
I don't know if this was intentional, Mike, but you brought up the Batman set and you brought up Upper Deck. Maybe there's some news that we can talk about a little later. Maybe that's some foreshadowing
that
we're getting into. Yeah, keep watching.
Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. I don't know. But we will get into it with an update to a story that we had 2 weeks ago. I think that's right.
That might be right. Yeah.
I think that's right. So there was finally closure on the Jordan fake PMG saga. You know, we saw the collector Ben that paid $23,000 for what he thought was a Michael Jordan precious metal gems, and then people pointed out, you know, it's missing like precious metal gems, missing the number. I don't think that's really what. And you know, dude spent $23,000 on the card.
Was willing to put $35,000.
Yes, yes. You know, last week we found out that Beckett screwed up. Who would have thought Beckett screwed up and mislabeled the card, and they were having a meeting? Well, the meeting was this past Wednesday, and to make a long story short, the solution is that eBay, out of the goodness of their heart, is giving him the $23,000 back, still letting the seller keep the $23,000 he got from Ben. And Beckett, who really was the person, the company that started the whole problem, got off scot-free and didn't have to give up a penny. So, I mean, I'm not surprised with the conclusion. Like, we knew Beckett wasn't going to give up any money. They don't guarantee their stuff. Beckett's a joke of a company. Don't grade your cards with them, because if something like this comes up, you're screwed. You're screwed. We saw it with that Steph Curry card, even though that one was cracked. They're like, oh, well, you know, we don't transfer any kind of guarantee anyway. They don't even really give you a guarantee to begin with. So there you go. They're out of the equation. But Beckett, I mean, eBay steps in and did the right thing. I don't know if they're going to try to get something back from Beckett, like on the down low, but I'm not surprised that eBay, even though it's a huge amount of money, eBay, it's worse for them to just let this out there and have people constantly point to it and talk to it and have, even though they're not changing their authenticity program, this is good PR for them, and it kind of just makes the problem go away, right?
So first thing, EP, can you tell C-Town Funk sent Mike a Ken Griffey Jr. card? Because now he's shitting on Beckett, just like
I did last week too. I did last week. I
That's probably why you got the Griffey. Now,
but remember, week one of this story, I reserved judgment until we knew what happened. But once I knew what happened, and which was kind of what we all knew happened all along,
right,
then I felt free to say what I had to say. So
the timing's just convenient, is all
Beckett
I'm saying.
may not be sponsoring the podcast. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So I said, I forget if it was the first time we talked about this, the second time we talked about this, but I mentioned something like, well, what's eBay's recourse with the seller? You know, if they have to reimburse Ben $23,000, what's the recourse? Can they go after the seller? And you guys said they could, because they could, right, at that point. So I was kind of shocked that there's no, they're letting the seller kind of get away with scamming someone. I mean, that at the end of the day, we don't 100% know what was going through the seller's mind, how he got the card, if he was the one who did anything shady with the card. I honestly, I don't know. The only person that knows that is the seller. But he didn't lose, right, in quotes, that $23,000 he was so worried about losing. I see where eBay has to step in, though. I mean, you have a authenticity program, which a lot of people just don't like for a myriad of different reasons. One, people hate waiting for their cards. Impulse control in the hobby is not good. You know, we've said this for a long time. People don't like to wait. People are impatient in the hobby. So they didn't like it for that reason. I've always loved it because it did give you some sort of like, okay, if you're buying it, especially a raw card, if you're buying something raw, they give you a good, you know, check mark. This is a real card. This is actually what. But now I don't know. Like I don't think that the eBay authenticity program is any better or worse than just me looking at the slab and determining myself if it is, right? Like it's not worth the paper it's printed on, so to speak, if stuff like this is going to go and get through. So I'm more upset. I'm obviously upset with Beckett for sure, but I'm more upset with eBay kind of like this is a major problem, a major flaw with this program that we've been touting for a long time, and they're not going to do anything to fix it. Like, they're going to pay the $23,000 so people get off their back, and then just say, "Okay, keep doing what we're doing." That just doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah, I agree 100% with your take on that, Joe. Like the whole point of the EB authentication system is to avoid things like this. In my opinion, that's how it should work. Like in a perfect world, if you're going to authenticate something, actually authenticate it. And like it seems like very superficial. How you described how they're looking at it. I also want to just kind of riff on what you're saying before. In newspapers, when people are talking to us, we always have to say so-and-so said, or so-and-so said he believed. We can't, because we can't get into their head. We can always say what they said. And so I feel like, I think this outcome, it was kind of like predetermined. Like, this is what we're going to end up with anyway. Like, this just seemed like, let's just make everybody happy and, just kind of let it all go. Obviously, eBay might try to go back on Beckett, the two corporations in this, but as far as the seller and the buyer, I feel like this was probably what we're going to end up with anyway, because again, you can't get into people's heads. You can't know exactly what's going on unless they admit it. And the seller is probably going to say, "No, I had no idea," regardless of whatever actually happened. So I feel like this was like the outcome that we were going to get to anyway, no matter what.
And Ben said he's going to be on Dan the Card Man and do an interview. Dan, get the seller on though. Some content creator, we've heard, no disrespect to Ben, but we've heard his side. We've heard his own words. We know pretty much everything he was thinking and feeling about this purchase. So there's really not a lot of new ground to cover there, but nobody's given the side of the seller. Like, try to find a little more out. Like, because I would like to know, because I have a certain opinion about him that could be completely wrong. And I don't want it to be. And if it wasn't honest, like I did say before, that there is a world where you may have gotten that card and been so excited to see a Michael Jordan PMG that you threw it in the semi-rigid and sent it off and didn't even realize that it wasn't printed on there or didn't have the number or something. So I would just like to hear his story. And, everybody out there that's doing this kind of content, digging into this stuff, you're all doing the one side. Dig in a little bit on the seller side. I would love for anybody, if you put up a video of an interview with this guy, I'm watching it. And I think a lot of other people would like to hear that story.
We would probably do a Wednesday show talking about it for double the actual amount of the interview. One point quick about Dan the Card Man too. He has been looking at the seller. He actually just put a video up. I think it was Saturday, so 2 days ago. And he was talking about how some shady other sales were happening with this seller, and then he dug more into it in this most recent video, and it turns out they weren't as shady as they at first looked. So maybe he's trying to butter up the seller, saying, "Look, I'm totally objective here. I'm coming back and saying that it's not quite as bad as it might have looked at first. Come on my show." But Dan, if you're watching, and he is a watcher, try and get the seller on. I'm with Mike on this one. I'd love to see that.
And he may be trying.
He may be trying, for sure.
The seller might just be like, "No,
no." The seller's on vacation in a boat somewhere with his $23,000. He doesn't care what happens.
Wow.
Because of we deal with a lot of scammers in this hobby. So like immediately, I think a lot of our brains go to, "Oh, well, they were trying to pull a fast one." But I could totally see a scenario where this guy has this card, and it's like, I wonder if this is some sort of like press proof or like some weird thing, something that shouldn't get out the door. I don't know what it is. I'm going to send it in to get it graded and see if they can tell me what it is. Like, see if they can say what it is. And then when it comes back a PMG, oh, okay, I guess it is a PMG, and sells it that way. That's totally plausible. So I would love to. I would watch that video 100%, no doubt about it.
And not only do we see a lot of scammers, like pretty much in this hobby, everybody just assumes the worst in everybody in every situation.
That's me. I'm fine. Not just in the hobby either. I just want everyone to know that it's not just hobby specific.
It's consistent.
Every human,
world in general. Walking down the street, I'm pointing people out like terrible person.
The Joe Day you see here or hear here, if you're listening to the audio pod, he is the Joe Day you would meet in real life.
Yes.
All right. Well, another scam that's out there is Top Series 2 has a Jackson Holiday Fun Face card. Yes, I'm really stretching a little bit with that transition. But we all know the Billy Ripken. I won't say the bad word, but he had a bad word written on the
EP
bottom
says
of
it
his
all the
hat.
time. EP, you want to take
all
this
the
one?
time. You want to say it, EP?
No, I've said it on the podcast enough. I can't do it.
So Topps in Series 2 decided to throw back to that and did Jackson Holiday short print with the fun face written on the bottom of the bat. They also have a white box covering it. They also have a black box covering it and a scribbled out version of it. EP, I'll throw it to you. I want your thoughts on this because you love Topps. I'm not sure if you'll say something positive or negative here, but give us your thoughts on this card.
Oh man, so positive. I love. There's so many things to love about this. And Joe, you know what? I'm not even gonna look at you because I know how you're gonna be. But as a fan of like the 1980s and 90s sports cards, and I've never had one of the Ripkins, not one of any of the kinds of them. But was like when I saw the fun face, when I saw the photos, like, oh my god, I hope they have all the variations. And gosh darn it, they went and they gave us all the variations. I love it. And Series 2, like Series 1 is always like a huge print run, right? And then because everybody's excited, it used to be back in the day, it was like the start of the card collecting season. So everybody got super excited about it. They still do because it's the start of baseball collecting season, but it's a little bit less now. But then Series 2, they produce like significantly less cards. The print run is significantly less, and then the updates even less. But so there's a lot less excitement for Series 2. But this is the kind of thing that just I think injects a lot of excitement into a product that they're probably looking for a way to like inject some excitement into. And for collectors of our age, I feel like this is one of those cards that people are going to be going after. And I don't think the prices that they're going for right now probably hold up. I think they're going for like $800, $900 right now.
Are they?
And I don't
Wow.
think like I
didn't
heard
look
that on
them
a
up.
podcast earlier this week, so it might have gone down. But I feel like they're probably going to go down. But I think they're still going to hold some value and like especially for people like us.
Joe, do you have thoughts?
Topps does blank. Topps does blank. EP is excited, right? Topps does blank. Anything. Fill in the blank. Topps does it, and EP's excited. Talk about we do all the time when you don't number these variations and these inserts. No one really knows how many there are. People are just posting screen caps of all the eBay listings of these, even though they're like super duper quadruple short print, whatever BS Topps uses. And there's a ton of them out there, and people are paying through the nose. Stop. Put your computer down. They will be so much cheaper in a month or 2 months. Probably way cheaper than they started anyway. I mean, it's just ridiculous. People need to just calm down a little bit. Actually, when I saw this, my first thought was, when's Upper Deck going to sue them?
Yes, that was my thought too.
Like, this is a Fleer card.
Mm-hmm.
IP of Fleer is owned by Upper Deck. The whole F-face thing, you could say, oh, it's a, what do they call it? Like, kind of like Screen Crush does a shirt. It's not parable. What's the word I'm looking for? Oh my god, I'm like EP.
Parable. Nope, it's parable.
It's not parable. Parody. It's a parody. It's a parody of that parable. So it's a parody of that. Whatever. Once they started doing the scratch out, the black over, the white over, I'm like, that might be something Upper Deck could consider a little more infringy than just having a fun parody of the fuck face card. You're welcome, everyone.
There you go. Now we know what it is.
That's
my problem with it. Like it's not your IP. It wasn't your card. Like your Topps. You've been in business since 1952. Like I feel that you have plenty of your own history you can call back to that you don't really need to take somebody else's. And I know I'm in the minority on this opinion. People are loving it. People are saying how much fun it is. But like somebody who saw that card, my instant reaction is, but that wasn't ever a Topps card?
Right.
Why are they making a copy of that? Like, I don't like that. Like, you have a million other cards you could do that for, and for the prices these are going, just go buy the Billy Ripken card. Like,
Right,
the real
right.
one. That's what you won anyway.
And if it was reversed and Upper Deck made a set that looked like 1952 Topps, how quick would Topps lose their Fanatics lose their shit and sue them? Let's be honest. EP, you love Fanatics and you're a fanboy, but you have to admit, if Upper Deck did the same thing with some Topps IP, Fanatics would not be letting that stand.
I think it would be. We have to get the hobby lawyer on to talk about this. But I think IP would be the design itself, not necessarily what was in the photo. So I don't think the photo would be part of that. But if that did go to court, I would love to be in the courtroom for the F-face trial.
Oh yeah,
just
that
to
would
be there to
great.
listen to everybody have to explain all that stuff. It'd be amazing.
I agree with the photo, the homage thing, whatever. But like blacking it out and doing the exact same things Fleer did for the re-releases, I think that's what makes it a little bit more IP-ish than, you know, the design of the card itself. The way specifically that Fleer covered up the bat knob, I think that's where I'm coming from. Like, that feels like a more Fleer thing that they did specifically for that card.
So. Well, if you don't pull that card out of your box, you could potentially pull a CJ Stroud that doesn't have the autograph where the autograph's supposed to be. So pictures floating around of that they had at least one or two that slipped through that they kind of forgot to put the. Now, this isn't anything new for Topps. We've seen it in a lot of other sets, but EP, since you are the big Topps guy here, how would you feel if you're pulling the CJ Stroud auto, certified auto on the front, all the stuff on the back, without an autograph on it?
I don't understand. You are the front runner. You are going to own everything. How are these things still happening? Like, it doesn't, I mean, I don't like
it. Still happens with all their apparel all the time too. So like, I guess any hope we really have for it to change, they don't care.
I never
They're
did.
the only show in town. That's why you make yourself the only show in town, because then, but you're still going to buy it. What are you going to do? We can screw up as much as we want. We can have bad quality control. It doesn't matter at the end of the day, because if you want to buy cards, we're the ones you have to buy from. This is why companies go out and buy up all the licenses. They did it with apparel, and they're just pretty much going to do it with cards. Any hope we had, I think, is long gone.
How many of those cards are going to get listed on eBay as rare error card, no autograph, rare error, no auto, right?
Or is Topps going to come out and say, this was intentional? This was like a hot box where you got a non-autographed one because it's even more rare.
Hot box.
Well, all you have to do is send it to PSA, just get the card graded, and then it's authentic. Like, they trust that what the company puts on there, so it's really an autograph.
Or you could buy a sticker from Leaf and just put it on yourself. Leaf should buy these up, put the stickers on, and encapsulate them.
Ryan Gray's like,
I got to slab as the Leaf variation of the Top Series 2. Oh, certified auto.
Wait. Fanatics does blank. EP loves it, right? Is that what it was before? Yeah. So the EP's loving this already. We had this debate numerous times on the pod months and months ago when they started buying stuff up. I think I'm the only one that's still while I agree legally they are not a monopoly. Mike, you said it yourself. They're the only show in town.
But they are, yeah.
They're the only so they're not a monopoly, but if you want to buy cards, you can only buy it from them. So if you want to buy license cards, you can only buy it from them. So I mean, yeah, great. They're not legally in monopoly, but they're doing all the things monopolies do. They buy up all the shit and then they start churning it out, and it's not any good. And they're doing stuff like this. Like, I know it's only a couple of autos. It's not the end of the world, but you have CJ Stroud signed to an exclusive. You can't make football cards of him yet. So you're screwing the collector, the CJ Stroud collector, out of autographed rookie licensed cards. And then when you do make a card of him in a what's he in? Is he the one in the Yankees jersey?
Yeah,
Or
Astros.
Astros.
Yeah.
You make a card of him in an Astros jersey because he threw out a first pitch or whatever, and you don't even put the autograph on it. I mean, I'm sure they'll come back and get someone a replacement card. I'm sure they're not going to be like, oh, too bad, so sad. But still, it's the point. You are the biggest show in town. You shouldn't be making these mistakes. And it seems we're talking about these mistakes on a very regular basis with them. Panini sucks. We all agree on that. And they are wildly overpriced. We all agree on that too. Topps is going to be Panini in less than 5 years. People are going to be losing their minds about every single thing they do, because then the microscope is going to be strictly on Fanatics, and they're going to have these screw ups, and no one can say fucking Panini. No one can say it anymore because Fanatics is the only show in town. So if you had a problem with Panini, guess what? My over under is 5 years. That's what Fanatics is going to turn into.
Yeah. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. I mean,
Yep.
It's Panini with a different name.
Yep.
The card collectors deserve better. The blame goes with the sports organizations, but I mean, they're always going to do what they can do to make the most money. So it's not going to change. We need competition. It's the only way things will get better, but it's never going to happen. So,
and the blame is, some of it is on us too, as collectors, because we'll keep buying the Panini products, not us, but I mean, people will keep out. One of my favorite rippers, he's a personal ripper, Silver Sports, Chuck and Ed, and they complain about Panini every single show as they're opening up Panini product. I mean,
oh yeah, happens all the time.
Same thing's going to happen 2 years from now with Fanatics for sure.
All right, well, getting on to some better news, Joe, you've been waiting for it. You may have alluded to it at the top of the podcast.
Look how exciting
you may have done a video last week talking about how somebody needs to get the DC license and make cards. Now, you thought maybe Panini should do it, which would have been cool, but Upper Deck was like, oh no, we can't let Panini do this after they see Joe say it. We have to go. Come on, let's get on the phone to Warner Brothers, work this out. Upper Deck is going to be producing DC comic cards starting this fall. I think this winter, actually. They're going to come out with DC Annual will be the first one. Will that be Flair? Is that what they, or is it?
No, that's it's just the stuff that happened in the comic books over the last year is what the annuals are.
Metal Batman, Ultra Superman, DC Unbound, and DC Masterpieces. Wow. Like crazy.
Joe's dancing.
Joe. Let's just sit back and let Joe talk because he's been waiting for this.
Guys, I'm so worried about my bank account. I am so worried. Mike, you know this from selling me comic books as a kid. DC was my jam, man. I'm even talking about a DC card on this Friday's 3 cards. Go and watch that, an old DC cards. I was so excited by this news. And when I talked about someone buying the DC IP on the Wednesday show last week, I said, I wish Upper Deck would, but I'm not sure what the exclusivity is because they have the Marvel cards. Some Marvel people like Spidey Hits is actually kind of concerned this might mean they're losing Marvel. I don't know. I mean, companies have had both before, but now in this world of exclusive deals and things, I don't know what's going to shake out. But I'm wildly excited for this. I can't wait for Metal. I don't know if they've ever had like a true Metal set for DC cards. So for this, I mean, and I was going through, they haven't had an actual DC set since 2017.
Wow.
And that was Cryptozoic. Before Cryptozoic, it was Rittenhouse. And before Rittenhouse, it had been like almost, I think, 10 years since they had. I mean, that's what happens when you have an MCU behind you. Obviously, Marvel's never going to stop making cards, right? So I said last week with James Gunn taking over DC, he's going to turn these little characters into big characters. He's going to take the big characters and make huge actors out of them. And people are going to want these cards. I'm super excited about it. I just, a case each, right? Maybe
at least.
Yeah. Batman PMGs.
People
Superman
are going to
gold medallions. Oh my god!
People are going to be coming to this channel to see that content, Joe, because they know you are the DC guy. So you have to get in front of this wave and ride it all the way into shore.
Pre-order all of them right now.
I jokingly said this. I said the Spidey Hits. I'm going to start a channel called Green Lantern Hits or something. I mean, I'm going to be going crazy. And they better, though, I will say this, they better name it DC Masters Series and not DC Masterpieces.
I think it's Masterpieces.
No, Upper Deck. No. When Skybox had the IP, it was Master Series. That's what made it different. So keep that in mind.
So, Joe, did you get a finder's fee or like any sort of compensation for your idea that you pitched to Upper Deck?
No, if Panini would have done it, I would have gotten 10% of everything. So now I'm really bummed out. Guys, Batman Jambalayas, Batman PMGs, like sketch cards. Sketch cards. They're gonna do sketch cards of all the I'm over the moon. I'm just over the moon. I'm so happy.
This is great content.
It is.
I love it.
I'm never happy, guys. I'm never happy.
Joe's never this happy. I don't know if I've ever seen him this happy in my life. It's amazing.
So
I gotta say,
Brent Heinzelman, you have to watch the video version just to see Joe's face talking about all that stuff. Go ahead, AC.
Well, I was excited. I didn't know all the sets. I saw the photo of the Allure. I didn't realize that they like Batman metal. Like anybody who kind of grew up when we grew up remembers that '89 Batman movie. And for me, that was like probably my first. Other than I think that might be my first like introduction to really like all like those characters and to be like to picture Batman and the Joker and everybody on those metal cards. I think that Batman's
villains are Joker PMG EP, a green Joker PMG.
Wow.
Like all the Batman villains. Whew. Like they're the best villains in DC. Like that's going to be I'm excited about that. I actually might buy a box of that, even though it's going to be outrageously expensive.
I'll tell you one out.
I'm gonna too. Cases. I'm gonna. Yeah, I want boxes of it. I want multiple boxes of Batman metal. And just do maybe a case.
Yep. Case battle.
Let's do it. 3-way case battle.
Do it. Also part of this announcement, I saw that they mentioned in there that it would just be the comic book based stuff, but they may add the DC universe, like the film universe, in the future. So they're smart play here. Joe's very excited about the reboot of everything there. If they take off anywhere near what Marvel movies did, Upper Deck's going to be making cards of that too. And going to be a smart play. I don't know, Joe. I feel like maybe you took a job at Upper Deck and you're not telling us.
God, that'd be awesome. Especially now.
And when he had to say Panini last week because he didn't want to like give away that he's actually
had to throw people off the set. Right.
Exactly. I mean, what a way though. Like they have hockey, they have Marvel, they have DC. Like to show a way that you can compete with Fanatics. Like you're not gonna compete with them directly, so be different. Like Eric Bischoff, from WCW, he always talks about like less than, better than, less than, or different than. And they can be different than. This is exciting news. Like I want to buy boxes of DC comic cards. So I feel like there are probably a lot of other people out there that probably feel the same as I do. Joe is crazy about this. We knew he would be excited, but when you hear EP say, well, the boxes are going to be pretty expensive, but I might buy a box. They're going to hit a market that has been waiting to buy this product. And then the rest of us that didn't even know we wanted to, but now that we know it's coming out, we're getting some. So big win for Upper Deck on this.
You did say it's coming out the winter of this year. No, in Upper Deck, it'll be summer next year,
2025.
Yeah. So like, I'm excited, but I'm not working myself up to the fact where, maybe in 6 months I'm going to have these products. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. The one concern, like all of my excitement aside, the one big concern the Marvel collectors have is, and I think AEW as well, Mike, those collectors, is it does seem like Upper Deck takes forever to get their sets out because what do they have, one printer? I don't understand.
Yeah, maybe.
So adding more IP, more sets, there is some concern that everything that they've been working on could get pushed back. My Wolverine, Flair Ultra Wolverine, has been pushed back again. I mentioned last week to August. So like, I don't know if something from DC jumped the line or if they're just running behind again. And that's the one thing that they have to fix. If they're going to compete again, different than, right? If they're going to compete with Fanatics, they really, really need to get these products out at a more reasonable time. If that means working with Fanatics and trying to get printer space once Panini doesn't need it, I don't know. But like, they need to work something out to get these sets out at a reasonable rate.
And maybe having a new IP will lead them to finding more printers to use, a way to get more stuff printed. Maybe that financially makes more sense. Now we can go to another printer and do this. Let's hope, because people don't want to wait forever. And if you're already having a little bit of trouble, I totally agree. You need to get that fixed. All right. Well, I don't know. What else do I have here? Oh, did you hear? Remember when Fanatics bought PWCC, and we're like, it's not going to stay PWCC forever. And news finally came out this week. It's going to be rebranded as Fanatics Collect. They're going to offer peer-to-peer trading, so Joe can trade his card this week on 3 cards. Something called AI-powered concierge services. I have no idea what that means.
They don't even know what it means. They're just putting these words together.
I feel like that's
just marketing. You just gave it to somebody and said, "Here, just put that in there."
Marketing came up with that term.
Synergy.
Going to have card scanning and digital collectibles that nobody cares about. They also signed a multi-year deal with Sotheby's Auctions to auction high-end $100,000 and up cards on the Fanatics Collect platform.
How many did you put up, EP? I was going to say that's you, right?
That's his stuff. Yeah, it's going to start with EP's collection, but not shocking. But I feel it'll be interesting to see how big of a player they can make this marketplace. That's really what I'm interested in. You have eBay, who nobody has been able to touch. You had Golden that didn't quite work out with that. So I don't know. I've been yelling for forever from the tops of the mountains that we need another marketplace. Fanatics has the capital, the money behind them to be able to compete with eBay if they want to. I don't know if they do. I don't know what form this will totally take. I don't know if it'll just be PWCC done differently, or if they're going to try to open it up to more of us. But I would love to see them try to compete. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I'm guessing maybe not. But I mean, more competition has to be a good thing, but I'm not going to be able to comment too much till I really I need to know what the AI concierge service is. Like, I'm all for that right now, because I have no idea what it is. But it's a good thing. Like, the peer-to-peer trading thing sounds pretty cool. So again, all these are words on paper. We don't really know how they're going to work. So it's kind of hard to really comment too strongly, not knowing how it's really going to play out in reality. But I will say that my interest is piqued, and I'm hoping that this could become a viable alternative for the general collector, not just the $1,000 and up PSA slab collector.
It sounds like the $100,000 and up PSA.
Well, that's handled. Yeah, that's handled. EP stuff is handled by Sotheby's.
Oh, okay. Just one. If people want to do some homework, we did talk about Fanatics Fanatics purchasing PWCC on our 5/29/23 podcast. So go check that out. We talked about it almost over a year ago now at this point, which is
what episode was that?
Damn it, I didn't write the episode down. But it's January, February, March, April, May. May 23rd or 29th, 2023. I thought they called it Fanatics Marketplace. Fanatics Collect, I guess, whatever. Mike, to answer your question about will they be like eBay, they might have seen this $23,000 payout and we're like, we're good. We don't want to be like eBay. But the peer-to-peer thing, I'm curious if they're basically just taking Veriswap's idea and doing it that way. Like I need to know more about if I decide to trade with someone, do we both send it to Fanatics and then
I'm
they
gonna guess.
verify things
I'm
and
gonna
then
guess
send it
it's
off?
probably stuff that's already in the vault that they have that
That
you'll
makes
just
sense.
be
Okay.
able to trade and it'll just be transferred. I mean, I think it's one of those things that sounds a lot more interesting on paper until you
But it's
realize
really
your
just
card has to be in the vault and you trade
Yeah.
with somebody else with card in the vault. Could be wrong. Like I said, I don't know, but
I'm
would
less
guess that's
interested
probably
in that than because I'm not sending those foil Superman cards to the vault. I mean,
Why
maybe.
not?
I mean, maybe. Why not? Yeah. But
You think?
Worth it. Go ahead, Evie.
You guys think eBay's going to let people just walk around carrying a cup of coffee around the cards as the people are going through the cards and stuff? Do you think, or is it just going to be
Fanatics? You mean Fanatics? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Like, that's what you do, right? Cool guy.
that's
with
what
the
you do if you're
coffee.
if you're walking around PWCC for sure. Yeah. No, I mean, I think this. I'm not surprised by the name. I think this is a good idea. Good idea. Is that?
Where's your pen and paper?
I didn't forget anything. I'm just having trouble talking right now.
That's EP. That's why we love you, EP.
Yep.
He's gonna tell us all about the AI concierge service.
I think that's
He's
what's
gonna have
happening.
his Will Ferrell moment. It's just gonna come out all in like one little blob.
Yep.
We talk about how competition in the card world is important. Like not having that is leading to a lot of staleness and stuff like that. Right now, eBay is by far the number one with a bullet. They can charge us whatever fees they want. A lot of people call it fee-bay because of that. They can charge us whatever fees they want. They're obviously we pay that fee because we get access to this massive a base of customers potentially. But if Fanatics does want to actually put some money into this and actually make it for all the collectors, the people selling $1.50 cards like I do, like I'm all for competition, and it sounds like they're adding the peer-to-peer thing and adding the concierge AI concierge whatever. Like they're trying to do some stuff, innovative stuff, and maybe that gets eBay to. I think Joe said a number of times, like there's a lot of their pages that seem outdated and that sort of stuff. So maybe this kind of like raises up everything for everybody if they do want to put stuff into the PWC Fanatics collect whatever.
If it doesn't do it for eBay, it's definitely going to do it for Heritage and Golden and all the other ones. Like they've got to start raising their game up. The Netflix show, pretty good, season 2, the Golden Touch, I think it's called, but. Legitimately though, like that's now the competition. Like those two and the other ones, the Heritage, those are the competent. They really need to raise up their game because Fanatics, if they're in it, they're in it. They're in it to win it. They're not going to just be second place. They're going to want to be first place for sure.
Maybe the AI concierge is like they actually bought HGA and that's what they're gonna call their AI. No, probably not.
So it's just
like
a camera.
HGA's AI can just be used for all sorts of AI things.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, brother. Oh, I saw this little tidbit and I thought it was quite interesting. GemRate reported this week that Victor Wembanyama, you know him? Joe, do you know him?
I mean, I obviously do. You want to explain who he is to EP?
Okay, yeah. He's a basketball player, EP. He's a rookie this year. He already has more total graded cards than Steph Curry and Giannis. I don't know. Giannis has 155,037. Steph has 163,494, and Wemby has 186,843 cards graded already, and not even all of his cards from his rookie year have been released yet. This is my I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised. But my mind is blown by that number. That he has more total cards graded than those other two. Like, what are we doing?
Like not just rookie cards of Curry, just all cards of Curry, right? Is that what it was?
Total graded cards.
And
total.
So with the rookie thing with Wemby, like people are going to grade more rookie cards. I think I would suspect like rookie cards are always going to be the most graded. And with Curry, I kind of get because like that was before they had 1,000 different parallels. Giannis, they started to get into the parallel game a little bit more. I'm curious how close he is to like someone like Zion, right? Like he was like the poster boy for the boom and how people just started grading everything that came out of his. So I'm curious, like at least rookie to rookie, I'd be really curious what the Zion versus Wemby rookie numbers are. But no, it's your mind shouldn't be blown, Mike. This is the hobby, man. You get a card of any player who might have any value, and he does. You know, I'm not taking anything away from him. The card gets pulled out of a pack, doesn't matter what it is, goes in a sleeve, goes in a card saver, goes to PSA. That's how this hobby is played now.
Yeah, and it really is.
I'm not a fan of it, but I wouldn't be surprised if 10 years from now, if an ungraded Wemby is not even on eBay. Like,
what if an ungraded one is worth more than a graded one because all of them are graded?
People start cracking those out of slabs, and then the environment goes to hell again because all the plastic EP. Look what you're doing. But no, it's like the rare ungraded variant. Like it's so stupid. Not every card needs to be graded. It just doesn't. But that's where we're at now.
I had a couple thoughts. I agree 100% with your take, Joe. I had a couple thoughts. One thought is I would love to see the pop report for all those cards, like all added together, like 10, 9, 8, like what the numbers are, to see like how many people, like you said, just pull them out of the pack and put them in there. So they got 6s, or if they're all in the 8 to 10 range, you know, how many, like what percentage are in the 8 to 10 range. That'd be kind of interesting to see, just to kind of like give you an idea of the quality control that's going on. And my other thought that I had was, could you imagine if there wasn't exclusive licensing and there were as many cards being produced as there were back in the 90s, like Fleer Ultra, Score Select, like all these things? How many Wembanyamamas would be graded then? It might be like what, like 5x,
the most ever card ever. Like it would be unbelievable. Yes, crazy.
Well, I'll let you guys know that EP and I are doing a PSA order. We picked out our cards. I actually have 3 Victor Wembanyama cards I am not sending in.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
These could be worth a fortune someday because I'm not sending them in. I actually, even if it's a new card and I just pulled it out of the pack, I actually look at it and I go, oh, that tiny little thing there, I can't. So I'm super picky, as our order will come back all 5s. But
right.
Yeah. But it won't be for lack of trying. But yeah, a whole lot of Victor Wembanyama being graded. PSA, their eBay account is live. I saw Nat Turner announce that this week. Kind of cool that if you use their vault, you can buy the cards and not have shipping and pay tax on it if you're buying something from them that's in their vault and putting it into your vault. Like, that's a pretty big thing for a lot of people. The people that are flipping the cards, buying stuff for speculation, you're saving a lot of money if you're buying a multi-$1,000 card by not paying the shipping and insurance on it, not paying the tax on it. But I'm interested to see what they have. I just want to take a look to see what stuff people abandoned and didn't pay for. Like, I have this odd curiosity.
Yeah, I'm the same, man.
Yeah, I want to know what probably a lot of really good, like, low grade cards they're going to be putting out.
Wednesday show idea. We go through their eBay page, like give it a couple of months, right? Have it really populate with some stuff, and we go through their eBay page and see what they have. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
For the non-tax thing, remember like in movies in the 90s, the Cayman Islands was always like the tax haven. Now it's Delaware. It's for some reason, Delaware is the new Cayman Islands. No one's going to I guess they're, you're going to a beach. Wait a minute. Are you going to a beach in Delaware, EP?
I am.
Are you avoiding taxes? Is that what's happening right now? He's going to move his eBay store to Delaware. Oh, no, he's gone. Is it the cops?
They got him.
That was unintentional putting two and two together there, but I'm starting to wonder. But in terms of the vault not paying taxes and shipping, that kind of doesn't surprise me because you can do that through when you grade with them, right? You can just send it to the vault and you don't have to pay for it to come back. If you send, I assume that's what you guys are doing because you don't care about seeing your cards. But great point, Mike, about people who are just selling. Like if you're just a seller, why wouldn't you do it this way? Like it's just you save so much money. And as a buyer, maybe you're one of those type of buyers who just care about having the card safe somewhere and like knowing you own it. I'm sure there is a piece of the hobby out there that is like that, you know, especially with the high end stuff. So yeah, it's a great move for them and their eBay page. I have gone a couple of times, haven't seen anything yet that I like, but I am like you, very curious.
There are probably a lot of people with like high anxiety who prefer to have a card in a vault as opposed to having it themselves. Like, I mean, especially if like some of that really high end stuff that like, oh, you're just going to sell it anyway. Like there are probably a lot of people who are very excited about this, let alone the tax break and the shipping stuff and all that sort of stuff. That's great. I want to say that I think Mike, I think you were the one that sent us the link to the eBay store in a text thread earlier, and I actually bid on. There was a PSA 10 Bowman Chrome Mike Trout rookie card. I think I bid on for like $5. It was like I went to newly listed. It was $5, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to get this, but I wanted to watch it just to see, you know, what my Bowman Chrome. It's the exact same one that I have, and it went up for like $750, $780, something like that. So
wow,
yeah. But I mean, I saw there were a couple that I went in there and bid on like $5 just to kind of see how they went and everything. So it was interesting. So,
it'll be interesting too to see the comps from PSA selling it compared to the others. That'll be a fun thing to watch over time. What else was I going to say about this too? I don't remember. So
because you did speaking of comps, because didn't you say like if you can sign through PSA too? Didn't we have this discussion that
that's what my point was. Thanks for pulling that out of my head there.
There you go, buddy.
Spoiler alert, EP. I'm gonna look at our grades because I have a lot of newer cards in the order we're sending in, and if I get 10s, I think I'm gonna transfer them to the PSA vault and sell them through PSA potentially. Like
do a video on that.
Yeah.
Though.
I want to do that for content. I want to see how it works because I am interested. I'm not super fan that they only have auctions at this point. So I may leave them in the vault for a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to sell them right away, but if I do get some 10s on some of the newer stuff, like I'm getting stuff to sell. So I may just put some of them in the vault. So I do have to look to see what the grades
just don't tell us what they are.
I'm not going to tell you. No, not going to let EP know. And then I'll act totally surprised when I do a video about that.
Because we have a couple of older cards. We did this set investment, right? And how many of the rookies did you send in from some of those? I only
sent 2 out of that. But
okay.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in seeing those too.
Yeah. I'm excited about that too. Some of those don't come back at a certain grade. I'm driving out there and I'm going to have a talk with them. So
I feel like I lost my train of thought completely.
Well, yeah, so this is what happens because we talk way too much on this show. Well, I'm gonna wrap things up with this little story. Oh, okay.
Hang on one second. I'm sorry. Just that I feel like I know. I apologize. PSA. I feel like selling an auction on that PSA, just because I think there's going to be a lot of eyeballs on the PSA thing.
Definitely.
So I feel like that, like
it wouldn't be as bad as us running an auction.
Right. I think there's going to be a lot more people, a lot of people saving that seller on eBay for sure.
All right. Well, I love to have these little stories at the end. I found a great one this week. Not really a story, but the product. And I may be getting these for you guys for Christmas. I don't know. But Panini and Reebok and Emmitt Smith are doing a collab. You know, the collab. The kids love the collabs nowadays.
They love the collabs.
They are releasing the ES22 Color Blast sneaker, $200 a pair. You get an Emmitt Smith Prism card with a photo from his actual game playing days, not like a new one in like a t-shirt standing there as like a 70-year-old man. But I wanted to throw this out here. This is why it's cool. Because they're Panini, they have 13 different parallels of the Prism card you can get with your Reebok sneakers.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 13 different
I wanted
parallels
13
of the
different
sneakers.
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
No,
That's
just for the cards.
Okay.
And 16 different inserts and parallels of the inserts of the card that you can get of Emmitt Smith with the sneakers that you buy for $200. What do you think? They do actually, I'm wrong. They do actually have 2 parallels of the sneakers because one of them is a gold one. It's the gold one. And I forget what the other one is. So there are 2 parallels also of the sneakers. So.
Whoever the next athlete they do this with, they'll go from 2 parallels to 22 parallels and then 92 parallels. Yeah, I mean, Panini got to do something to keep those lights on, right? So why not?
Yeah.
I mean, people buy them. People will buy them. Cowboys fans will definitely buy them.
I feel like there's going to be people with like really, really deep, like ridiculously deep pockets that are going to buy tons and tons of these just to get the different parallels and stuff, right? Like I think there's going to be people doing that, and then probably selling the shoes on the secondary market just to get the parallels. I could totally see that happening.
What they really need to do is do Reebok pumps with Shaq cards in it. Yeah. Call me Panini. I'll tell you how to do that.
While you still have the basketball license, Panini, you might want to consider that. Or Upper Deck should do
Reebok
some Nike Jordans. I mean, come on, everyone should be doing shoes, right?
They should be. That's a great idea. I mean, sneakers are ridiculously collectible.
Yeah.
And people like fight to try to get the new drops when they come out. So like there are a lot of parallels between shoe collecting and card collecting. So it's a natural fit. And Upper Deck, if they didn't Upper Deck, maybe they did. Maybe I just don't know about it. But like Upper Deck Jordans, yeah, I'm in. I would try to get them. I would try to get them.
If Upper Deck does Jordans, like announces they're doing Jordan sneakers, I'm buying a lotto ticket. That's all I'm saying. Like I'm going to pick my own numbers because apparently I have some sort of power over Upper Deck that I didn't know about. I used to make fun of. I used to make fun of shoe collectors because I'm like, you buy these shoes. There's a specific utility to these things. You wear them, right? I just couldn't wrap my mind around it. Comic books that are graded, it's the same thing. I mean, it takes the utility out of the comic book or grading a Pokemon card, right? So I get it, I guess. But yeah, it's still silly. But I get it. It's silly, but I get it.
Still silly. But card collecting is perfectly normal.
Well, there's no additional utility to a card other than TCG. So
I don't know. I played a lot of.
You did play a game.
So I don't know. So
imagine how safe they would have been in their slabs as you're sliding them across the floor.
That would have been fantastic. They would have been all scuffed up. But
yeah, the grist would be no.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think they'll wrap things up there this week. That was a pretty good chat, and I will see you next week. Take care, guys.
See you, boys.
Adios.